Hey there, CJ Math students. Welcome to homework 5.7, two-step equations with checking. Watch the video, check off. Practice homework, calculate is okay, due tomorrow. So, first thing you want to do is go ahead and draw your scales of justice. You see subtraction. The whole idea here is make sure that the constants are 0, so that's why I add 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Go ahead and highlight your first step there. So drop down negative 6n, not just 6n. Negative 55 plus 1, negative 54. Then we go ahead and divide both sides by negative 6, the exact coefficient attached to the variable. Go ahead and highlight your second step there. So n is equal to positive 9. D is your answer. All right, very, very important to watch for signs because I have put a whole bunch of little trick answers on there that have messed up the sign, so watch out for that. When checking, you're just going to say negative 1 minus 6 parentheses, plug in 9 is equal to negative 55. Then do your math here. So negative 1, this is minus 54 is equal to negative 55, and negative 55, right? Because negative 1 minus 54 is negative 55 equals negative 55. Right? 2 is all on you. Number 3. We draw scales of justice. Variables on the right, so I'm working with this constant. I see plus 2, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Highlight your first step. These cancel off because they're 0. Drop down not 4x, but negative 4x is equal to 10 minus 2, which is 8. Please put those equal signs. All right. Then go ahead and divide by negative 4, not 4, but negative 4. Highlight that. That's your second step. And x is equal to negative 2. Try and make sure your writing is as neat, if not neater, than mine. When checking, we've got 10 is equal to negative 4, not x. We plug in and say our answer, which was negative 2. Plus 2. Then we go ahead and do the math. So 10 is equal to, what is negative 4 times negative 2? It's positive 8. And then what is 8 plus 2? It's 10. So 10 is equal to 10. We know we are correct. All right, number 5, a little bit of a different problem here. We're going to go ahead and locate our variable. It's on the right. Our constant is 1, so therefore we subtract 1 from both sides. Highlight our first step there. 1 minus 1 is 0. Drop down x over 3 is equal to 6 minus 1, which is 5. I see division this time, so now I go ahead and multiply. Times 3 times 3. You want to highlight the 3 dot, that's your second step. Over here, the 3's cancel out, so x is equal to 3 times 5, which is 15, so D. When checking, 6 is equal to not x over 5, but 15, sorry, not x over 3, but 15 over 3, plus 1. Do your math, so 6 is equal to 15 divided by 3 is 5, plus 1, and then 6 is equal to 6. So we know we're correct. Right? 6 is all on you. All right, number 7. Draw your scales of justice. Variables on the right-hand side, sorry, left-hand side this time. And I see negative 3. So how do I make this 0? If I did minus 3, negative 3 minus 3 would actually be negative 6. So this is one of those ones where I always want to make sure this is 0. So I'm going to actually add 3 to both sides. Highlight that. That was your first step of a two-step equation. Negative 3 plus 3, that's 0, so that cancels out. You drop down x over 10 is equal to negative 4 plus 3, that is negative 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and see division, so I multiply both sides. 10 and 10 over here cancel off, so x is equal to negative 10. And you're going to want to highlight that second step. In checking, you get negative 3 plus plug in your answer of negative 10 over 10 equals negative 4. So here, negative 10 over 10, that's negative 1. So you got negative 3 plus negative 1 is equal to negative 4. And then negative 3 plus negative 1, negative 4 equals negative 4. Good job. All right, on the back side, if you watch the video, you may go ahead and X off 9 and 10. Congrats, good job. Thank you for watching the video. Number 11, it says Julio sold half of his comic books and then bought 9 more. He now has 35. How many did he begin with? So Julio's got X comic books, but he sold half of them, so X divided by 2, and he buys 9 more, so plus 9. He has 35, equal to 35. So there's his equation, right? We go ahead and draw our scales of justice. Variables on the left, I see plus 9, so therefore I subtract. 9 minus 9, 0. Drop down x over 2 is equal to 35 minus 9 is 26. And then I'm just going to go ahead and times 2 on both sides. Times 2. So these guys cancel off, and x is equal to 52. So C. Don't need to check on that. So highlight your second step, though. 12 is all you. All right, and these last problems, remember we went over them in class. These are the kind of tricky ones where you see 1 equals x plus 5 over 12. We're going to actually times to begin with, so times to begin with. The 12s cancel out, and you get 12 times 1, which is 12, is equal to x plus 5, right? And now it's just a simple one-step equation. Okay, so I'm just going ahead and giving you an example of how to do these. Right? Your problems may look a little bit different, but now that you've seen that, you do know how to do that. You do not need to check since you watched the video, and the rest are yours.